It was the experience of my life, traveling around the world, meeting different people. I don't regret 1 minute of a year I spent traveling to the four corners of the world.
Michaela, Slovakian, living and working here in Dublin for the last few years.
For the last 12 years.
12 years, but your passion has been traveling, has been scuba diving, and for that you took 1 year off, leave from your job to travel and experience new things. But you went to 19 countries in 5 continents. This is something else, you know, incredible.
I started my world tour in 2015 in June.
In June 2015, and you were back to Dublin in June 2016. Whole year.
1 whole year.
So, which are the highlights of your world tour? I mean, which are the countries which left you with a great memory? And why?
Countries that are very close to my heart would be Fiji, Galapagos, Nepal, Vietnam and Peru. I started my trip in Fiji and my mother was always a bit amazed about me. Why do I have to start my trip on the other side of the world? The answer is pretty simple. It's my love towards sharks and diving. So I always was watching at home National Geographic documentary movies. Mr. David Attenborough is my hero, so I wanted to work with sharks, and I found the project in Fiji that is helping sharks, shark conservation project. So I spent my first month in Fiji helping sharks.
Very good. So you dived into, shall we say, shark-infested waters, which is what the Westerners like to call it, but I'm sure it was a lovely experience for you. And tell me about the people and what you did exactly.
Yes, so exactly. So the Shark Conservation Project was helping baby hammerhead sharks. So we were working with the marine biologist from the University of Suva. So we were fishing out baby hammerheads, we were tagging them, we were taking measurements, and we were collecting data for the government in hope that one day the area where we were fishing out the sharks will be announced as a marine protected area.
Marine protected, yes.
And we were also diving, we were also conducting survey dive sharks, where we were basically monitoring the shark food, which is fish above 30 centimeters. We were diving mainly with bull sharks, but many other species as white tips, lemon sharks, reef sharks, and probably 11 species of sharks, where we had to learn their names and the fish ID surveys.
And the people in Fiji?
Yeah, so before going to Fiji I was reading a little bit about the country, and they described Fiji as the happiest nation of the world. So I can confirm that. I was privileged to spend actually 2 months in a Fiji, in a proper village environment with bucket showers, going spear gum fishing. I experienced 4 weddings. The people were so welcoming. When you just walk through the village, they just ask you to come for lunch. They shared with you everything, and I was a really part of their family. I would say I was adopted in 2 families, and they treated me as their daughter. They called me, I was their white daughter. So that was my happiest time at my trip, really. My second favorite place would be Galapagos, because I wanted to dive more with sharks, and I asked the marine biologist in Fiji, if I want to dive with sharks, where should I go? And he said Galapagos. So I went to Galapagos. I've seen tons of documentary movies, and Galapagos didn't disappoint me. I took off for an 8-day cruise around Galapagos, and I was lucky to see different species, likes of blue-footed boobies, the regattas, the marine iguanas, land iguanas. It was absolutely wonderful experience. I spent there one and a half month. I have done 16 dives with hammerheads, school of hammerheads, manta rays, dolphins, different turtles, sea lions. So it was pretty amazing, and I think the highlight of Galapagos and what I took away from with me was that this was a unique place on earth where I truly seen that animals and people can coexist and tolerate each other. It was wonderful to see.
A lesson to the Western world.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Simplicity, life, happy with little.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So next stage, next country that.
The next country that I had a unique experience was in Nepal. I visited Nepal 2 years after the two major earthquakes. So, and I wanted to do some volunteering, and I said to myself, why not to go to Nepal? I was a little bit afraid to go to Nepal after the earthquake, because people read in the news, different medias are broadcasting mixed perceptions that it's dangerous to go there. And I met in Vietnam a couple, and they said just read people's blogs, because people tell the truth when they write blogs. So I took off to Nepal, and I started working for All Hands. So it's a disaster response NGO, and we were in Himalayas removing rubbles and building up houses after the earthquake. So we were helping disadvantaged people that they had no money, or they were physically not able to rebuild their houses. And what was a unique experience for me, that people had still smiles on their faces, even when they lost pretty much everything. So it felt really good just to give yourself, to give your time, because I think these days everyone can give a little bit of money, but to give your help and free time, it was a wonderful experience.
Very, very nice, I would say. Helping the needy.
Helping the needy, exactly.
Wherever they are.
Exactly.
Wherever they are. One more thing, another country, and then.
I would say I absolutely also loved Vietnam. When you travel, you obviously experience food through their culture as well, or vice versa. So I didn't hesitate on my trip to try different food, and I have to say that I went to a couple of countries in the world, but the best food I ever experienced is the street food of Vietnam.
Right.
It's absolutely delicious, healthy. They don't use any chemicals, no preservatives, and it costs nothing, and you eat delicious food which is energizing you for a whole day.
Okay, now, Michaela, what is your next move from now? What is your plan for the near future?
The plan for the near future is to continue dreaming. That's my plan, and I will never stop.